John the Morgal here, checking in for a live reading in the book of Enoch for you. I hope you do enjoy it. Before I get started, just gonna lay a few things out there. So I was planning on moving out of this hotel today, you know, the one that I've been at here for quite a while. And last night my car broke down. It's done this thing periodically where when I go to start it, it'll start, but then it just wants to keep trying to crank for some reason. And like, even when I take the keys out, it still keeps trying to crank. And it kept doing that, and I took the keys out, and like, then you go to crank it again, and it would crank. It still keeps trying to crank. And then, sorry. And so it just did that until it fried, and now it won't start. It's a straight drive, so I can try to push start it, but good morning, Stephen Landry. Yeah, man, when it rains, it pours. Because my trailer and everything's like 25 miles down the road, and we're here in this hotel with all of our stuff and the dog, and I don't know what the hell we're gonna do, man. I'm so scared. WNC in the building early. Yeah. What's up, Kate Brant Foster? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, just real quick, prayers go up for over there in the Middle East, Israel, Palestine. Looks like we are on the brink of probably World War III at this point. The Iron Dome, the Israeli anti-missile defense, was overwhelmed the other day by Iranian direct attacks. You know, they sent in drones and then ballistic missiles, which I guess the drones were like a decoy for the Iron Dome. And just a handful of missiles got through and hit military targets, which, you know, they're claiming this as a big Israeli victory, but I think it proves a proof of concept that, you know, Iran and probably Syria and other elements in the Middle East could definitely attack and do serious damage to Israel at any time. And, you know, at this point, with the way that Israel has been doing the people of the Gaza Strip, you know, I mean, I can't say that they don't deserve what's coming. You know, they need to stop. I've been saying this the whole time. Israel needs to fucking stop, excuse the language. But you just can't go around butchering people, innocent men, women, and children, for revenge for something that happened, you know, to Israel, which it definitely appears was allowed to happen by Israel, right? So it's troubling times. Like my nerves are so shot right now, guys, with everything that's going on in the world. It's bad enough. And now add on top of that, I am carless now as of about 4 hours ago. Well, at this point, probably 9 hours ago. It was like 11 o'clock last night when I was just going to the store to get something to drink, and my car did that. Where it's done that thing before where it'll keep wanting to crank after you crank it, and it'll still keep trying to crank after you take the key out. But then if you know, went to crank it a couple times, it would just stop. This time it didn't. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that you know, God works in mysterious ways, and we don't know his works necessarily. We don't recognize them right away. And so I try to be, you know, I try to be attuned to that, because who's to say, you know, if my car didn't break down last night, what might have happened like today, right? Like, luckily, my wife wasn't in the car with me when this happened, because she can't walk down the road, you know what I mean? She's on oxygen. So that's a blessing, really, that it was just me in the car, and it was relatively close to home where I could just walk home. luckily it's, it's parked in a place where it's safe. It's like not in the middle of the road because I pushed it off the road. But when it rains, it pours, man. Like, I'm so scared right now. They're going to run us off out of this hotel in about 5 hours. And, before it was like, I at least could, go in the car, put my stuff and my dog in the car, and then sleep in the car if I had to. But now, the car is not even running. I'm going to try to go push start it later. Maybe it'll push start, but I really don't want to do that. It's an old car. So I'm at my wit's end, you guys. I am so upset. Like, my nerves are shot anyway with what's going on overseas. Like, we've all, as Christians, we've been preparing for this sort of World War III scenario. But I never thought that it would be Israel bringing it on itself, like just pushing away peace with both hands, pushing away things like the Geneva Convention with both hands, and just butchering innocent people. You can't go on doing that. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see escalated attacks coming from Israel next in response to what Iran did, which, in my opinion, that would be pretty stupid. One thing I guess I'll say before we get into the reading of the book of Enoch is that I am 1000% confident that there's not going to be like a nuclear war, right? Because frankly, nuclear bombs don't exist, right? And that's not to say that, like, the militaries of the world can't blow stuff up in a big, big way. They can definitely blow stuff up in a big damn way. But, there's no such thing as a bomb that's going to level a city that you can fit inside of a briefcase, right? It's not going to happen, right? And the reason that I'm so confident is because, we're talking about an atom bomb, right? And which is essentially splitting the atom, right? You can't have an atom bomb. You can't split the atom if there is no such thing as an atom, right? So I know to the 99% of the world, that sounds very foolish of me to say, but, once you're attuned to the scientism, the absolute nonsense that presents itself as science that has totally invaded our culture and our educational institutions, starting with the spinning ball earth as we're little kids, right? People are convinced that that's science, but it's really nonsense. It's a fairy tale. It's pseudoscience, right? So at least there's that. Like, if I can give y'all any consolation, let's not be wary about nuclear war. Like, that's the last thing we need to worry about, honestly. So, like, I know they're probably going to say it a lot in the news that, like, Israel's weighing the nuclear option, but it's just not going to happen, right? And just go back to the when the nuclear bomb was allegedly invented, it was all just a bunch of propaganda. They were using models and clever editing techniques before people really knew what film editing was all about, in order to convince people, using a very convincing propaganda arm of the U.S. government, that they had these weapons of mass destruction. But so at least we can sleep soundly knowing that. Now that isn't to say that our boneheaded ass governments can't get us into World War III anyway. But again, if I can be any consolation, there is always that. So with all this shit going on, man, my nerves are already shot. And I'm sitting here yesterday, like, getting my stuff ready to start packing up the car and go move. And then my car literally breaks down on the side of the road. So, I just pray and I thank God for whatever catastrophe may have been averted by putting that stumbling block in my way. I do have a lot of faith that God's plan transcends our understanding, and so I try to keep a positive attitude, but it is hard. Like, finally, we do have somewhere to go. I just don't know how we're going to get there, and I'm not prepared to be on the side of the road today, which is what we're facing. So keep us in your prayers, man. All right, let's get into this book of Enoch. This is a relatively short book. This is book 3. If you missed the last 2, I've got them in a playlist. I've done them fairly recently. So let's get into it. This is book 3 of the book of Enoch, the book of Noah. There we go. All right. Okay. And after some days, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech, and she became pregnant by him and bore a son. And his body was white as snow and red as the blooming of a rose. And the hair of his head and his long locks were white as wool, and his eyes were beautiful. And when he opened his eyes, he lighted up the whole house like the sun, and the whole house was very bright. And thereupon he arose in the hands of the midwife, opened his mouth, and conversed with the Lord of the righteous. And his father Lamech was afraid of him and fled, and came to his father Methuselah. And he said unto him, I have begotten a strange son, diverse from and unlike man, and resembling the sons of God of heaven. That's big G God. And his nature is different, and he is not like us, and his eyes are as the rays of the sun, and his countenance is glorious. And it seems to me that he is not sprung from me, but from angels. And I fear that in his days a wonder may be wrought on the earth. And now, my father, I am here to petition thee and implore thee that thou may go to Enoch, our father, and learn from him the truth, for his dwelling place is amongst the angels. And when Methuselah heard the words of his son, he came to me to the ends of the earth, for he had heard that I was there. And he cried aloud, and I heard his voice, and I came to him. And I said unto him, Behold, here I am, my son, wherefore hast thou come to me? And he answered and said, Because of a great cause of anxiety have I come to thee, and because of a disturbing vision I have approached. And now, my father, hear me. Unto Lamech, my son, there has been born a son, the like of whom there is none, and his nature is not like man's nature, and the color of his body is whiter than snow, and redder than the bloom of a rose, and the hair of his head is whiter than white wool, and his eyes are like the rays of the sun. And he opened his eyes, and thereupon lighted up the whole house. And he arose in the hands of the midwife, and he opened his mouth and blessed the Lord of heaven. And his father Lamech became afraid and fled to me, and didn't believe that he was sprung from him, but that he was in the likeness of the angels of heaven. And behold, I have come to thee that you may make known to me the truth. And I, Enoch, answered and said to him, The Lord will do a new thing on the earth, and this I have already seen in a vision, and make known to thee that in the generation of my father Jared, some of the angels of heaven transgressed the word of the Lord. And behold, they commit sin and transgress the law, and have united themselves with women, and commit sin with them, and have married some of them, and have begotten children by them. And they shall, and thanks for the super chat, by the way, I just saw that pop in. Thank you very much. I guess breaking the read here real quick. Super chats are great and appreciated. Of course, it takes a month or two to receive those funds, and Google takes 30%. So I do much appreciate it. If you want to send funds over PayPal or Cash App, the keyword is the Morgile. Links in the description. But thank you very much for the super chat, and you're welcome, Desert. Thank you. Okay. begot children by them, and they shall produce on the earth giants, not according to the spirit, but according to the flesh. And there shall be a great punishment on the earth, and the earth shall be cleansed from all impurity. Yea, there shall come a great destruction over the whole earth, and there shall be a deluge and a great destruction for 1 year. And this son who has been born unto you shall be left on the earth, and his 3 children shall be saved with him, when all mankind that are on the earth shall die, and his sons will be saved. And now make known to thy son Lamech, that he who has been born is in truth his son, and call his name Noah, for he shall be left to you, and he and his sons shall be saved from the destruction which shall come upon the earth on account of all the sin and all the unrighteousness, which shall be consummated on the earth in his days. And after that there shall be more unrighteousness than that which was first consummated on the earth. For I know the mysteries of the holy ones, for he, the Lord, has showed me and informed me, and I have read in the heavenly tablets. Let me turn this air back on real quick. And I saw written on them that the generation upon generation shall transgress, until a generation of righteousness arises, and transgression is destroyed, and sin passes away from the earth, and all manner of good comes upon it. And now, my son, go and make known to thy son Lamech that his son which has been born is in truth his son, and that is no lie. And when Methuselah had heard the words of his father Enoch, for he had shown to him everything in secret, he returned and showed to him and called the name of that son Noah, for he will comfort the earth after all that destruction. And in those days Noah saw the earth that it had sunk down, and its destruction was nigh. And he arose thence and went to the ends of the earth and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, Hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said unto him, Tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such an evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it. And thereupon there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from heaven, and I fell on my face. And Enoch, my grandfather, came and stood by me, and said to me, Why have you cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? A command has gone forth from the presence of the Lord concerning those who dwell on the earth, and that their ruin is accomplished because they have learned all the secrets of the angels, and all the violence of the Satans, and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images, for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and an angel stands therein, and that angel is preeminent. And after that, my grandfather Enoch took a hold of me by my hand and raised me up and said unto me, Go, for I have asked the Lord of spirits as touching this commotion on the earth. And he said unto me, Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon, and shall not be withheld by me forever. Because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learned, the earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed. And these they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, and they are the damned. But as for you, my son, the Lord of spirits knows that you are pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. And he has destined thy name to become among the holy, and will preserve thee amongst those who dwell on the earth, and has destined your righteous seed both for kingship and for great honors, And from thy seed shall proceed a fountain of the righteous and holy without number forever. And after that, he showed me the angels of punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who dwell on the earth. And the Lord of spirits gave commandment to the angels who were going forth, that they should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check, for those angels were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Enoch. And in those days the word of God came unto me, and he said to me, Noah, thy lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the angels are working, and when they have completed their task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it. And there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall set in it, and a change shall set in, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will make fast thy seed before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with thee. It shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be blessed and multiply on the earth in the name of the Lord. And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me in the west, among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that the valley in which there was a great convulsion and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place from that fiery molten metal and from the convulsion thereof in that place, there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters, and that valley of the angels who had led astray burned beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these angels are punished who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they may be punished in their body. For they have denied the Lord of spirits, and see their punishment daily, and yet believe not in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before the Lord of spirits none shall utter an idle word. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Spirit of the Lord. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those angels are punished in the waters, these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend, this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, This judgment wherewith the angels are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment minister the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore, they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. Okay, and one more chapter here. And after that, my grandfather Enoch gave me the teaching of all the secrets in the book of the parables which had been given to him. Oh, shit. And he put them together for me in the words of the book of the parables. And on that day, Michael answered Raphael and said, The power of the Spirit transports and makes me to tremble because of the severity of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment of the angels, who can endure the severe judgment which has been executed, and before which they melt away. And Michael answered again and said to Raphael, Who is he whose heart is not softened concerning it? and whose reins are not troubled by this word of judgment that has gone forth upon them because of those who have thus led them out. And it came to pass, when he stood before the Lord of spirits, Michael said thus to Raphael, I will not take their part under the eye of the Lord, for the Lord of spirits has been angry with them, because they do as if they were the Lord. Therefore all that is hidden shall come upon them forever and ever. For neither angel nor man shall have his portion, but alone they have received their judgment forever and ever. And after this judgment they shall terrify and make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. And behold, the names of those angels, the first of them is Samjaza, the second Artakepha, the third Armen, the fourth Kokabel, the fifth Torael, the sixth Rumjal, seventh Danjal, the eighth Nekael. It goes through all the names. We don't need all those names, I don't think. Down to Azazel, the 21st. And these are the chiefs of their angels and their names and their chief ones, over hundreds and over 50s and over 10s. The name of the first is Jekon, that is, the one who led astray the sons of God and brought them down to the earth and led them astray through the daughters of men. The name of the second was Asbeel. He imparted to the holy ones of God evil counsel and led them astray, so they defiled their bodies with the daughters of men. Always deceiving, ain't they? And the third was named Gedriel. He it is who showed the children of men all the blows of death. And he led astray Eve, and showed the shield and the coat of mail and the sword for battle, and all the weapons of death to the children of men. And from his hand they have proceeded against those who dwell on the earth from that day and forevermore. And the fourth was named Penemu. He taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet. He taught them all the secrets of their wisdom. And he instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby many sinned from eternity to eternity until this day. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good faith with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the angels, to the intent that they should continue pure and righteous, and death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them, but through this, their knowledge, they are perishing, and through this power it is consuming men. And the fifth was named Kasdija. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smithings of spirits and demons, and the smitings of embryo in the womb, that it may pass away, and the bites of the serpent, and the smitings which befall through the noontide heat, the son of the serpent named Tabayet. And this is the task of Casbiel, the chief of the oath which he showed to the holy ones when he dwelt high above in glory. And its name is Beka. Hey, Nathan Oakley. Good morning, brother. This angel requested Michael to show him the hidden name, that he might enunciate it in the oath, so that those might quake before that name and oath who revealed all that was in secret to the children of men. And this is the power of this oath, for it is powerful and strong. And he placed this oath, Akay, in the hand of Michael. These are the secrets of this oath, and they are strong through this oath. The heaven was suspended before the world was created, and forever. And through it the earth was founded upon the water, and from the secret recesses of the mountains come beautiful waters from the creation of the world and unto eternity. And through that oath the sea was created, and its foundation he set for it the sand against the time of anger, and it dare not pass beyond it for the creation of the world unto eternity. And through that oath are the depths made fast and abide, and stir not from their place from eternity to eternity. And through that oath the sun and moon complete their course, and deviate not from their ordinance from eternity to eternity. And through that oath, the stars complete their course, and he calls them, he, capital He, the Most High calls them by their names, and they answer him from eternity to eternity. And this oath is mighty over them, and through it their paths are preserved, and their course is not destroyed. And there was great joy amongst them, and they blessed and glorified and extolled because of the name of that Son of Man had been revealed to them. And he sat on the throne of his glory, and the sum of judgment was given unto the Son of Man. And he caused the sinners to pass away and be destroyed from off the face of the earth, and those who have led the world astray. With chains that shall they be bound, and in their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned, and all their works vanish from the face of the earth. And from henceforth there shall be nothing corruptible, for that Son of Man has appeared and has seated himself on the throne of his glory. All evil shall pass away before his face, and the word of that Son of Man shall go forth and be strong before the Lord of spirits. Amen. Okay, so that's the end of book 3 of the book of Enoch. I hope y'all did enjoy it. I'm going to end this stream and then just start another one real quick, just to talk to y'all about my situation a little bit. And let me end this for the audiobook's sake. Thanks y'all for joining me, and I'll be right back. Give me about 5 minutes to reset the stream. All right. One love, you guys.